Hello, and I'm your host, James Atchison, and welcome to Northern Ireland Election Night. I'm joined by Rhiannon tonight. We're going to take you through the results as they come in for the next 30 minutes. We'll update you as they come along. And the importance of such, I think this election on a whole has been interesting. It has shown the different views and the bipolar relations really within Northern politics. I think, you know, whilst there's obviously unionist nationalist splits, I think it's interesting to see, how some parties have come across. So like the Conservatives, the Social Democrats, who actually did quite well in the Republic, or the Free State, should I say, who did quite well there in the recent elections down there. It'll be interesting to see if that will convey up to the north. See if, it'll be a purple all island. I think that'll be interesting. We have we will have a couple of interviews this evening. Ones will be joined with Killian Fitzgerald, for example, from the Conservatives. There'll be Epic Noah from Labour. There'll be Social Democrat fella as well. So yeah, Northern Ireland really on a whole is broke up into different constituencies, and as each constituency is announced and released, we will, tell you the importance of such, the amount of seats that's therefore allocated to an assembly, and what that means for your government and who will that be. So yeah, I think maybe we should move to the first interview. I believe that it is Killian Fitzgerald.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks so much for having me on. I'm good, thanks.
No worries.
And
That's
you?
good. Yeah, I'm good. Can't complain.
Good.
Yeah. How do you feel about this election then? Are you confident or?
Well, we do have quite a lead and we're trailing slowly ahead of Labour. I'm nervous at the same time because either way you're going to be nervous. But I'm quite confident heading into this election that we've worked hard enough, we've campaigned as much as we can, and I hope that really proves itself in the following results.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. What would you say would be the main policies out of your manifesto that, if you're elected, would be some of the first things that you would do?
Well, I think a big part of our manifesto is decentralising our focus from paramilitaries. So whether that be our policy on a Northern Irish sports team or a policy on financial conferences, I think most of those really decentralise our focus away from paramilitary activity and kind of add in a new alternative for jobs and opportunities for people in Northern Ireland.
That's great. I'm asking this question to all the candidates tonight. The recent tensions on the border really hasn't been seen in quite some time, with the border closing, the Northern Ireland Secretary closing the border and stuff like that. And really the creation of the Northern Ireland Secretary office after the Governor Generalship was kind of taken away. I just want really your opinion on that and how you would ensure that it doesn't happen again, and how North-South relations continue to improve rather than to worsen, really. I just want your take on it.
Well, I think, as most border breakdowns are, it was the result of a breakdown in communication. I mean, for most of the things we've heard, it was either a direction coming from the Free State or some motions coming from the Northern Ireland secretary. I think we've made strides to improve communication. I mean, according to the Northern Ireland Secretary's office, we've improved the North-South Border Council Discord. So I think we're taking the right step in the right direction in terms of communication. And I think the fault really falls on communication.
All right, thank you. I think I'm going to ask you another question here. Northern Irish politics has always been about violence and paramilitaries and stuff. And really, there's nothing new. Each party's manifesto that's running this time talks about how they deal with paramilitaries and security issues. Besides that, I think the general public want to know other things. So, what new ideas and fresh ideas are you bringing to the table to better Northern Irish society on a whole, outside of security issues?
Well, outside of security issues, I would have to say we offer a lot more than other parties. I mean, what we've seen is some basic ideas coming from both parties in regards to employment. I mean, like I said earlier, we have a Northern Irish sports team coming along with the cooperation of Great Britain. I think that's a fantastic thing because many of the people who would be into violence, combat, close combat, they would easily get interested in sports team, especially if we get it across the table enough, if we do some more recruitment drives. And I think Northern Ireland could really have a lot more things going on for it if we do, as you say, take away the focus from paramilitary violence. So yeah, I think the main thing we'd always have to say is the sports teams because, like I just said, it is a lot of the people who are into close combat, paramilitaries would see themselves in a sports team. So the first thing we would have to do in regards to taking away the focus from paramilitaries would be the sports team, getting its leadership in. Them ambitious would be the public service awards. We would have surgeries with the Border and Communities Minister, so that he really knows what's going on the border. He's not out of touch. He doesn't know what he's doing. And the final kind of big thing we're doing would be weekly reports on the border status and how it's performing. So these things would kind of increase transparency while at the same time moving our things away. Northern Ireland should no longer be known as just the paramilitary country. It should be known as a country, not country, region, devolved region from the United Kingdom, and it'll always be that way.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fair. How would you say then that going forward, this is going to be my last question really, your relationship, how are you going to manage it? Like trying to keep good relations with the South and keep good relations with Britain. Do you think that it's possible to have both going at the same time, or do you think it would have to be maybe a more pro-unionist stance or a more pro-Republican stance? Do you believe that you could be neutral? Because I know you are the Northern Ireland Conservative Party, so I think it's a
Mm.
fair question to ask.
I see where you're coming from. You see, you're right in saying that we are, as Northern Irish executive, if we were to be in the executive, we'd be in an incredibly tough position because we are a devolved government in the United Kingdom, but at the same time, we need to keep our borders safe. But I think, um, for quite a while now, they've all taken a stance towards United Kingdom, United Kingdom, United Kingdom, when in reality, I think it is deep down possible to have fair relations with both. I mean, both people in charge. I mean, we have the Prime Minister Dinar Heathcote, the Northern Irish Secretary Lynette C. Wright. Those are two people I would fantastically work with, and I think I've gotten on in the past with them before. Especially people like C. Quatic and the Taoiseach Otto Strabel. Those are also some brilliant people that I'm on close, good terms with. So I think that's something I offer, probably more than other candidates, that I would be able to work well with both, and in the past I already have.
Okay, Killian, from the Northern Ireland Conservative Party, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed our wee talk there. I think it's real insight into your party, and I thank you for that.
No worries. Thanks so much for having
All
me.
right,
See ya.
good luck. Uh, so, with that being said, there's results that came in this evening. Well, we have four results actually have just came in. I'll just release them now as they're coming through. Antrim has went to a seat has went to the Northern Ireland Conservative Party. Derry, Londonderry. A seat has went to the Northern Ireland Labour Party. Tyrone, one seat has went to the Social Democrats of Northern Ireland, and Armagh, one seat has also went to Northern Ireland Labour. So, with that being said, that leaves Labour at two seats, the Social Democrats with one seat, and the Northern Ireland Conservative Party with one seat. I don't think there's any real surprise the way that's went. To be honest, Antrim is quite a conservative safehold. So that's no surprise. Tyrone, yeah, well, okay. So Tyrone, yeah, Social Democrats. There's no real surprise there either. Derry, Londonderry, has always been quite a socialist seat, to be fair. So seeing that, there's no real surprises here. I think we kind of expected all these results, and there's no real surprise. What this means really going forward is that whilst Northern Ireland Conservative Party and polls have been polling pretty well, we are yet to see this starting to come through. Even though it's still early days, who knows how this will turn out. I think really we're going to move to our second interview. It's with the Northern Ireland Labour, I believe. Epic Noah.
Hello.
Hello, Noah. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, classmate. How are you getting on?
Wow, I'm nervous.
Oh, really? How come?
To be frank, I'm literally nervous at the moment because first few results have come through. I think 2 seats for us, unless I'm mistaken, and 1 seat for the other 2 parties. And it's right to get on the edge of our seats because it's such a close call. So we don't know what could happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you very similar questions to what I asked Killian. Really, out of your manifesto on a whole, what would you say were the key points, and what points that, if you are elected, are you excited to enact?
Sorry, say that again.
Out of your manifesto, what would be the key points that you're excited to enact if you get elected?
Well, personally, in my personal respective opinion, our assembly, it has been struggling for activity, and because I'm proposed leader of assembly as well as borders minister, a reform like we've proposed in our manifesto, I think, is one of the key points because if we want to make the assembly active, we gotta see what's the issues and try and fix on them, and just really get it active and do whatever we can to do so. And yeah, that's pretty much my opinion.
That's fair enough. What would you say then that you bring new to the table, something that the other parties aren't offering really in their manifestos and stuff?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What are you bringing new to the table? What would you say that the Northern Labour Party can bring to the table if they're elected that other parties could not do?
Well, that's a good question. I think we bring like fresh ideas. We bring, experience, and we bring people who are qualified in their roles. And I'm not speaking on behalf of like leadership. I'm just saying, in my personal point of view. So don't quote me on that. But I think, we bring new, fresh ideas. We're side of the main Labour Party, which is currently in government right now over in the UK. And I think we bring a lot of new ideas that many other parties have not done before. And yeah, I think, if we were to be elected, we could enact those ideas and just show that we can help improve Northern Ireland.
All right, great. Outside of security issues, which is something that everyone talks about, especially in Northern Irish politics, what outside of that are you going to enact if you're elected? Would it be like more business oriented? Would it be more like sports and culture, or maybe give us a wee idea?
I mean, well, our business is most important. We're promising business fairs. Business fairs is really crucial because many businesses have been are registered, and we want to show those businesses off, and we want to also show career events. And yeah, I think business is the most crucial part of it. So,
all right, cheers. Billy, the last question, really from me to be honest, is what would you say if you're elected in Northern Labour Party, really strong British party? How would you think that your relations with the South would be? Would you get on well, and would you be able to balance good relations with the UK and the Free State at the same time?
yeah, I think we could. It's it's vital that we have good relations with both the UK and the South. We've had a little bit of a bump in the road because of the closure of the border recently. And as I think both sides have to come together in order to resolve it and find out what went wrong. Excuse me. And try and fix that issue, because if we don't fix it, then how on earth are we going to stop the constant border closures that we could see in the near future? That's just crucial. And we also plan to follow the regulations from the St. Oliver Agreement. We're also planning to start up NSC. We plan on also working with the Northern Ireland and with the NIO, specifically about the North South Council as well. So, yeah.
All right, no, cheers. Thanks for coming on tonight, and good luck. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, cheers. A couple more results have come in, guys. I'll just release them as I see them here. So before, I'll just give you a update of where we were sitting. So Antrim went to Northern Ireland Conservative Party. Derry Londonderry went to the Northern Ireland Labour Party. Tyrone went to the Social Democrats Party of Northern Ireland. Armagh went to the Northern Ireland Labour Party. New results have now come in from Fermanagh, Down, and another seat in Down as well. So Fermanagh has went to the Social Democratic Party of Northern Ireland. Down has went to the Northern Ireland Conservative Party, and Labour has gained the other seat in Down as well. So really, there's no surprise there. Oh, and another result has just come in from Tyrone. That's went to the Northern Ireland Labour Party as well. So Northern Ireland Labour Party is sitting on 4 at the moment. The Northern Ireland Conservative Party is sitting on 2. The Social Democratic Party of Northern Ireland is sitting on 2. So across the board, there's no real surprise here. Fermanagh, real big, socialist state. It's just I can't swear on this, but it's not a nice county. It's just full of awful people that you don't want to meet. So yeah, just Fermanagh is bad. But no, really, there's no real difference here. You're talking and you're just looking at this. There's some pattern maybe being formed here. You can see that the Northern Labour Party is starting to edge ahead, which is really interesting to see, actually. Because because polls and stuff has suggested that the Northern Conservative Party would be where Northern Labour Party is right now. So it's quite interesting to see that maybe the polls were wrong. I know there hasn't been that many polls really for the Northern Ireland election, which is kind of sad to see. Maybe hopefully as elections start coming back in, you will see more polling being done, more media companies coming in. So it'd be nice to see that. Obviously, these are not the full results. We're still waiting on, I think, about 3. So, who knows what way it'll go. It could go to the Northern Conservative Party. If they got the last 3 seats, that would leave them on 5 seats altogether. It could go to the Social Democrat Party, which would also leave them on 5 seats if they gained Armagh, the second seat in Armagh, the second seat in Antrim, and the second seat in Derry, Londonderry. Obviously, if the Northern Labour Party was to gain 1 or 2 of those seats, it would put them in as the majority. So, it would lead to power sharing deals and stuff like that. I think it would be interesting to see. But on a whole, really, this is how we're sitting at the moment. It's kind of limbo. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure as the rest of you are fully aware, if you listen to this, you might be somewhat acquainted with Northern politics. It has always really been driven by sectarianism and terrorism and violence. Really, it's kind of nice to see that parties. I remember when Northern was formed actually, and was like on this, and I was first minister and stuff like that, and I remember going through it all, and it was all just about the different Republican Unionists, and it's nice to see now more middle ground parties starting to break through, and it's more like, instead of focusing on security issues, people are starting to focus on, like, for instance, the Northern Conservative Party is talking about a football team. It's nice to see the Labour Party is talking about business, which is great to see as well. And the Social Democrats were talking about business within their manifesto as well. So all of that obviously is nice to see. It's quite nice to see that. So yeah, we've got 2 more results. And it's from Armagh and Antrim. So obviously, the 2 results. So Armagh, the second seat in Armagh has went to the Northern Conservative Party, and the second seat in Antrim has went to the Northern Conservative Party. So yeah, there we go. So that leaves the Northern Conservative Party on 4 seats, tied with Labour at the moment. The Social Democrat Party of Northern Ireland is currently only sitting on 2 seats. It's obvious that maybe one could argue that the surge that the Social Democrat Party had in the south, in the Free State, hasn't really equated to the north. So maybe that's just different views, different issues that's facing the two provinces. So it'd be nice to maybe see how that will develop. Obviously, at this point, we would bring in a representative from the Social Democratic Party in Northern Ireland. However, sadly, they couldn't field a candidate, so you're going to be stuck listening to me waffling for a bit. So yeah, I apologise for that. I will try and keep it as minimum as possible. As I was saying before, Northern Ireland was always obsessed, really, with violence and stuff and border issues, and St Oliver's agreements in there as well now. But I think, on a whole, you can just see that the society is starting to shift away a wee bit away from it all. Recruitment, for example, in the police forces in the Garda Síochána and the RUC in the north is really starting to drive up. So maybe people in the societies and different communities are starting to drift away more from the violence and more into more founded societal principles. For example, look at the UK. Like, it has a football team and has different businesses, different cultural ideas and stuff. And I know they're trying to do that in the south as well. So it's it's a nice idea to see it starting to move that way. Hopefully that will continue. Obviously, at the end of the day, nobody wants going on to like Middleton, Glasgow, and seeing being bombarded, not being able to move. So yeah, obviously we're sitting waiting on that last result from Derry. So if Derry could hurry up, that would be great. But yeah, like I was saying, at the end of the day, we're currently sitting where realistically this could go either way. Like, I'll not lie to you, I don't know what way this is going to go, because Northern Ireland Labour Party and the Northern Conservative Party are literally tied right now. I think it's safe to say that the Social Democrats are now out of the picture. There's no way that they could be a majority party. It's really now neck and neck as to who would be the majority party. Obviously, a power sharing agreement will have to be formed because, even if Northern Ireland Conservative Party or the Northern Ireland Labour Party only got 5 seats, the other party will still have 4, and they could team up with the Social Democrats and block proposals from the governing executive. So some sort of agreement will have to be made, and I know that's how really Northern Irish executive is formed. But it would be interesting to see the possible mechanics of that, whether that would be the Northern Ireland Labour Party and the Social Democrats, or the Northern Conservative Party and the Social Democrats. It'd be interesting to see that. I think Killian wants to come back on and have a wee chat, so I'll let him come back on here. Yeah, hello, Killian.
Hello.
Hello, sorry about that. I was just waffling away there. Yeah. So the results have, we've kind of formed up here. So what's your take on them so far?
Well, despite Labour having a long trail ahead of us at the start, I'm still feeling quite comfortable here. Lovely seat, by the way. I don't know. I'm expecting a 5-seat Tories, 4-seat Labour, 2-seat Social Democrat assembly.
Okay, right. That's interesting. So in terms of forming an executive and stuff like that, if you are the majority party, how would you go about doing that? Like, who would you want to team up with and stuff like that?
Well, the thing is, I'm very, very hesitant on forming a minority. I think that would be the wrong thing for Northern Irish politics, because you have instability at the border, and then to add on top of that, a very unstable minority executive. So if I'm either way, I'm going to have to either go down the Labour, socialist, communist path, or even worse, socialist, social democrat path.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to interrupt you here. We've just got the results from Derry. I'll just want to get your take on this as well. Derry, the second seat in Derry, Londonderry, has actually went to the Northern Ireland Labour Party. So on a whole, the Northern Ireland Labour Party is currently sitting on 5, the Northern Ireland Conservative Party is sitting on 4, and the Social Democratic Party of Northern Ireland is sitting on 2. So Killian, I know what you just said there, but now you're not in the majority party. You're in the second largest party, but you're not in the majority party. Where does this leave the Northern Ireland Conservative Party?
Well, despite that result there, I still think there is a massive chance we could still enter government. I mean, Labour does have an edge over us right now, but I think the Northern Irish Conservatives have made more allies than we have enemies, and that'll come in useful, I think. That'll come in useful.
So are you saying that talks have already begun with other parties about forming a government, or what are you saying here?
Well, I think there's been nothing confirmed yet. Absolutely not. But there's no way you could confirm something before an election because that would just be complete corruption. What I'm saying is there have been ideas thrown around. I won't say with who or with what, but there have been ideas thrown around that I'm comfortable with.
All right, okay. So really, the election result has left that there's no real clear majority party. It might mean that legislation stuff, if a government can't be formed, might be difficult to get through. Do you think this has led to instability and has shown the indecisiveness really of the general public and the split within, Northern Irish politics between, pro-unionist and neutral parties?
Well, I would never fault the blame on, I think, the general public because there's no way you can get rid of it. There'll always be a divide, whether that be unionist or Republican, Tory, Labour, or Communist, Conservative. There will never be a unified, unanimous, devolved Northern Ireland. I think that's a precedent. And so
Yeah.
I was prepared for a result like this. I think it was going to happen. Whether that be us with an edge over Labour or Labour with an edge over us, I'm prepared for this result, and I'm not that astounded. I mean, it was going to be Labour Conservatives, so I was prepared for a situation like this.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to end our wee interview here. I'm going to talk to Noah after you, just to get his view on it as well. But congratulations on the
All
result.
right.
It's an amazing result. You should still be very, very proud of yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations and good luck with negotiations and
Thanks a
forming a
million.
government.
See ya.
All right. Yeah, Noah, are you about there, mate? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
Hello.
no, you're fine. Don't worry. I just want to get your take on this. As we're wrapping up the show here, you're in the majority party, so you're the largest party in Northern Ireland. Congratulations. What's your take on it? Are you happy with the results? Maybe
Thank
talk
you
about
very
the results a
much.
little bit.
This is a very good result. Many people wanted, for many people are sick of, the constant inactivity, and the fact that many people have chosen Labour is a very good result. It's very good that we've managed to get this result. Now it's all about trying to form an executive if we can, and yeah. So yeah, this is going to be a very nervous evening on who forms an executive. I'm hoping it's Labour, which most likely it will, but you never know. It could be the other way around. It's how to put this into words. It's a, let's just say it's a bomb with time ticking bomb, and when the bomb goes off, an executive's formed. So it's all about time and how long. And when I mean time, I mean like how quick can we get it done. But overall, it's a very good result, and I'm proud of it. And the whole Labour team is very happy with the result. So yeah.
All right, Noah. Thanks a million for coming on and chatting to me there. Good luck in negotiations, and I hope everything goes well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Well, that's tonight's focus. As you see, Northern Labour Party is currently sitting on 5, the Northern Conservative Party sitting on 4, and the Social Democratic Party of Northern Ireland sitting on 2. So we have the Northern Labour Party as the largest party in Northern Ireland. However, it can go either way. We don't know what way negotiations will take place, so it'll be interesting to see. But thank you very much for listening to me tonight. I know it's a bit of a waffle, but here we are. So yeah, good luck and keep safe. Thanks for watching. All right. Bye bye.